Okay, so we had an 8.8 um, on the other side of the Pacific, quite a ways away, but the tsunami can hit the West Coast. Um, I'm in no danger, but from that earthquake. But it's the Ring of Fire. Anything can happen. We have volcanoes, fault lines, all kinds of stuff everywhere. So you just never know. Um, it could be like 5 years till something happens that was a result of this action, and you just don't know. It could happen tonight, and I kind of would pray that if we're gonna have the big one, that it's like in the middle of the summer or something. And the reason is that way, like, yeah, it'd be hot and annoying, but at least we wouldn't freeze to death because we might lose electricity for like a month. In the worst case scenario, basically, it could be really bad. Now, this case, it's an 8.8, and it's, you know, were that to happen in the right spot on the West Coast, we might barely feel it. I'm not lying. Were that to happen, like, right off the coast of Seattle, it's gone. And it would be like a 9 pointer, basically. Like, people don't understand, like, the orders of magnitude. They think, like, a 9 is not different than an 8. They're very different. Um, in fact, the earthquakes I have experienced are like sixes and sevens, and they're terrifying. The ones I did because they were like very short but extremely violent, and it was like the ground just going up and down real fast. And yeah, they would destroy like apartment buildings, and like one cracked up my house when I was a kid, and very interesting. Not good, very scary. One of the threats of a earthquake is the heart attack possibility because you're like scared of the earthquake. So you got to think of that. Um, but in any case, I don't know if this caused a lot of problems for Russia. That's probably a remote area. I'm not sure about the tsunami, but a tsunami warning has been issued for the West Coast. So, but where I live, it's not an issue in that regard because I'm inland and I'm up, a couple 100 feet above sea level, so not a problem. But it's always an issue, and yeah, when you live in the Ring of Fire, you can basically have an earthquake at any time, and all these they are working on earthquake prediction, which I find interesting because it kind of works. What it does is it detects the earthquake when it happens and gives you like a minute warning uh, because it travels across the earth. So, like, if you lived in Los Angeles and the San Andreas Fault decided to go, you might have your phone go off and give you enough time to get under a desk or whatever it is that you think you can do, or get outside of a building. It's every situation is different. So, um, yeah, like I literally slept through the worst earthquake I have lived through. I'm a deep sleeper, so yeah, my parents woke me up, and my bed was on the other side of the room, and it was fortuitous that the like because my little brother's room was next to mine, and the chimney had fallen like over, but it fell outside the house. Good. So yeah, that was scary. And it's one of those things where all the plates are everywhere, everything's down on the ground. That was a very violent earthquake, and it was only like, I don't know, 25 seconds long or something. And when you go through an earthquake, it feels like forever. So I'm kind of terrified about this kind of quake because these last a long time. These are like 5 minute ones. They're not as violent, but they last a long time. And what happens is the real danger is the tsunami because, like, when earthquakes in water, something happens. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I can say it thus. When we had the Northridge quake when I was a kid, the water in the swimming pool was swishing around for like 8 hours. It just kept sloshing out of the pool till we lost like half of it. Um, we had a swimming pool, like a nice one, and it just kept going back and forth and back and forth. And yeah, we found out like real quick. You'll find out when an earthquake happens, who did the construction right, who didn't, because half of our like retaining walls were like collapsed. They had no rebar. Because if you do it right, it won't collapse. And you know, the good news is like for most of us, if you live in like a stick house, you're probably going to be okay. You know, because they flex. So a wood house built out of wood is okay. What's dangerous is a multi-level apartment that's not up to standard and brick buildings. They are very dangerous. So that's just my information on that. But yeah, this quake is not, people are calling me like, are you afraid of that tsunami? I was like, no. But how do I know that's not gonna happen right here tomorrow, right now? I have no way to know. Um, you know, so what are you gonna do, right? It's like if you live out here, you live out here. Everywhere has hazards. If you live in the Midwest, tornadoes. I guess back east it can snow or hurricanes or something. In Florida, um, everywhere has hazards. I love this area, so some people live right on that ocean, and I don't blame them because it's super beautiful. And when it's nice, I feel at peace there. But it's super dangerous when it comes to this. So yeah, oh well, that's my thoughts.